Gintillic before we cut off. He goes P2 currently. I'm not quite sure what's happening. There is a car who is out. That is somebody who drives a car. I can't remember. It's Ian, but I can't remember his name in this game. Now we have got some people who the flags are messed up for some people for some reason. The people who have set, apart from Yarm, the people who have set Leipzig flags are messed up for. I'm not sure what's happening today, everybody, but I do apologise. I'll now have a look if I can remember how. Enigma actually, wow, he comes in out of his pedals being a little bit dodgy. Sets the fastest lap of current times. They're just a tenth quicker there than Skillet, whatever his name is. I don't care. He doesn't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Ian sets a slowish lap. It seems like a banker, but that's interesting there then, because it does seem like a fairly slow banker. It looks like he was held up and then he just crashed on the way out, which I'm not quite sure how that happened, unfortunately, due to the fact that we were experiencing some difficulties with the stream, unfortunately. But that is the way of the world at the moment. Let's see if we can find somebody who is on a fast lap. He looks like he's just going in for one. Can watch Yarm. He looks like he's on an in lap as well. Could be on an in lap. It's one of the difficult things to see here. Who's on the in lap and who's on the out lap. Snickers wide, that's his lap ruined really. It's not a good one to come back from. Zed takes. I apologise for butchering your name as he comes through the last few corners. And nope, not into the pits actually. Let's see if we can improve on his time. Doesn't look great. 16, 17, 18. Gonna put him slower, I believe. Yep. Samster not doing too bad there either. I do presume he's on an in lap at the moment. Watch Salah as he comes around the last few corners, because he has not yet completed a lap. And this one looks like a slow one, I'll be honest. Normal Salah pace. He comes into the pits, he's aborted that one. Storm. He looks like he's on the in lap as well. That looks very cautious through there as well. Crystal Catcher, the driver who's changed team yet, runs a little bit wide into the exit and goes P8 with that lap. Now what Stead takes is he is on a fast lap, I believe, because he did come in. No, he's just on. I'm confused, I'll be honest, I'm confused. Storm the King, not on a lap. SQ coming around to finish his flying lap, the winner of this race last time we came to the German Grand Prix. Managed a very good strategy, managed his players and was able to out-strategize people, really. But we'll see how he lands here. He is very quick around the circuit, but gets a little bit too much curb maybe there. Wasn't really able to line up that last section there as he probably wanted. He goes P7 for now. Oh, I'm just sure there's positions there, not... Is it? I'm a little bit confused on how this works, I'll be honest. Oh well. Right, we've got Karnak now, who looks to be setting a lap. Obviously beaten by his teammate. Not great through the hairpin there, was he? Did seem to run a little bit deep. As it goes through the fast right now. It's alright, and into the braking zone, brakes down heavy. Just seems to be getting a little bit of understeer, that Renault. I'll be honest. He does seem to be drifting out a little bit where he probably doesn't want to be. Let's go through that. Probably a little bit cautious there, Karnak. I'll be honest. To that corner. Gets it nice and banked, and on the exit fairly decent as well. Able to go through the chicanes nice as well. Let's see how his again, probably could have carried a little bit more speed through there, but we're not. Beggars can't be choosers. It's going to be a decent lap. So 1:15.5, and it puts him in 8th place currently. Let's watch Nick, who is on a super soft lap. Nick, very impressive in the pre-season race. Didn't really live up to expectation in the last race. He did have a decent result in 4th, but was very, very quiet. And he comes in now as he's aborted that lap. Sampster in P13 at the moment. It's not bad for him. Oh, he goes deep. It's okay though because it's banked. Might play on his confidence a little bit, but it's okay for now. Oh, he's deep through there and he's going to come into the pitting line and abort that lap, I believe. Rambu is apparently on a flying lap, which means he's on an out lap, I believe. Only 4 cars on the circuit at the moment, 3 now, including Wombedo, who's on track here. So he's fighting that car. Through 4th again. It could have been a little bit wider there, but it's not bad as he's doing a wee twist in the P14. Salah currently on an out lap. Storm the King, my teammate at the moment, as I'm sitting in the Manor Garage for today's weekend. Even though it's midweek, but beggars can't be choosers, can they? So now coming down into the braking zone. Probably would have wanted to go into first there to get a little bit more oomph off the line, but he does alright. Comes to the fast right. We also have reports that the race will be in wet conditions. Yes, you heard me right. It will be pouring down with rain this race weekend. And that will be interesting. A lot of the drivers, it might throw a little bit of a spanner in the works, especially with this first corner being very tight. People are going to be either very sensitive or a bit too aggressive. So we got to hope that people are being a bit cautious and things like that. But you know what? Some of these leg races are like Storm not having the best final sector, and it's going to put him still in P17. Salah comes around the final corner now to start his flying lap as I've got hiccups. It's not even going to tell me the time at the moment, is it? Thank you, game. You know he's on a flying lap at least. Comes down, hits the apex, that's what he's wanting to aim for. Drifts the car out wide. Gets on the power, doesn't hit the curb, which is nice. 16.5 through the first sector. And now the time does actually start ticking for us, which is always nice. Now into the hairpin, braking as late as you can. Again, I don't know why people aim for the first part of the apex. You want to try and hit the second part on the wide line so you can get a better traction down here on this little mini straight and around this corner. So you can get a bit more speed coming into this corner. Just means you have a bit more time that you've gained. But he looks alright for the rest of the section. Nothing's quickest for the speed trap. Interesting, like. See how he is through this corner. This is another weird corner. He takes that fairly poorly, I must say. Again, it's another one I prefer to go a little bit deep and then cut back due to the banking. So you can really nose the car in. Oh, not great for that final bit. It's a tricky one, but it's not a bad lap time. That's 1:16.4. That's only good enough for P16. I think that really does say quite a lot about the skill level in this league currently. Well, we've got Z-Takes on a flying lap as well. We'll watch him through the final sector. Why not? Coming through to the apex quite nicely. Oh, gets the back end out. Gets him offline for the chicane bit, but it's okay. He keeps it cool on that curb and gets the car turned in a little bit late there, but he comes across the line to do a 1:15.8, and that puts him into P11 for the time being. Let's have a look at our grid at the moment. It is Phil in the lead, who we have not really seen a whole lot of, to be honest. But now with a few minutes left, we want to have a look. Milik 2/10 off that time. Enigma 2/10 also. And Vioxic then in 4th place at the moment. 8/10 off the league time. There's a couple of drivers there who I think could get in between Karnak and P9. I'm surprised he's comfortable with that time, I'll be honest. See, is Karnak out on the grid? I thought I saw him on the grid as Phil comes into the pits fairly wisely. Milik is on an out lap. We'll be sure to get that as well, as we can also see Enigma on a lap here as he goes through the final few corners. Could have been a little bit quicker through there, but doesn't improve going to be annoyed with that one, I presume. VX6's doing the weird glitch where it's max power already, so we won't watch him, unfortunately. Let's keep on an in-lap, Crystal on an in-lap. Salah on super soft, who's going quite slow actually. Peaks there as well. We'll watch the NX Rage come through the final corner, and then we'll try to find our one of our race leaders, P3. Oh, Millet's properly going slow for this lap at the moment. As you can see, he's heating up the tyres. We'll watch it from the off-board camera. Try to give you a bit of a beautiful look of this track. It is a nice little track, this one, actually, at the Hockenheimring. Not as beautiful as the Nürburgring, in my opinion, but beggars can't be choosers, can they? Let's face it. Seven minutes on this lap, jeez. He's coming now across the line. He's going to start his lap. He's going to hopefully have clean traffic as well. As he goes, S-Cube's left the session. That is unfortunate. Let's hope he can reconnect before the race starts. S-Cube now through the corners. We can see the little, what are they called? Can't even remember. Anyway, he's through the first sector. Looks like there's a banana car in front of him. Gets out of the way very nicely. Maybe gave him a little bit of slipstream, which on the side of things is both banana cars are in the championship hut, really, with Milik. And there's another banana car actually. It's both of them getting out of the way very nicely, which is always good to see. Good sportsmanship between competitors. Currently, through the middle sector seems pretty decent. Now coming into this banked corner, he takes that very lovely, it must be said. That camera angle, which is quite nice. Goes through there, wide, turns in, one swoop, just about keeps it within the white lines, I would say there. He's in the back end. A little tad, he goes and stays in P2. It's not quite good enough to improve. I think we saw the banana who's starting the flying lap. It's Phil. We'll watch on board with the qualifying leader at the moment. See how he can improve. He comes down into the first corner, locking up a little bit in third gear so we can get the traction on, get the power down through the first sector. Opening DRS as early as he can. Now he wants to hug this corner as it's the shortest line now to the next apex, and you want to be on the left anyway because it's a very, very tight corner. Big lock up. But as we found out from last time, he wasn't actually locking up as much as we saw on our screen, so it could still be on his screen. He's not locking up one little tiny bit. So he's fast through there. It's the apex, probably going to go down into third gear so we can get the nose in, then quick shifting up to fourth. Going up the gears now, so we can knock it through here. Let's see how quick he goes. Down to 6. Very nice indeed. That nose of the Renault looking very good. The apex there, he catches it pretty quickly as well. It does look very good from the from looking on board. I'll be honest, the Renault looks very balanced. You can see that through those final corners, getting those apexes, hooking them up really nicely. It's a 14-1. I think that was actually slower than the last lap we saw. As he always. Oh, Milik has just posted another lap. While we weren't watching him, he's done 2 laps on those soft tyres. It's 0.002 quicker than Phil. That has got to hurt. But it does mean he should have fresher tyres come the race, which is very important, obviously. You want the fresher tyres as it can be fairly important in this race, as well as the tyre wear is quite high. But we'll have a quick run through your grid then. It's Milik from Phil from Enigma, as it's not going to let us finish it, unfortunately. We'll watch Jets as he goes very wide actually there. Karnak, he seems he's on an in-lap. Phil, he seems... These are the only 4 guys on track, and I believe they're all coming in for their in-laps. Right. Okay, we're going to race director quickly. We will run you through the grid, and then we will start on the final one. We've got Milik from Phil, from Enigma, from Vioxic, from Skillet, or whatever his name is, I don't care. Vioxic from Jed's Copper, from S-Cube, from Crystal Catcher, from Salah, from Yarm, from DNTX Rage, from Z-Takes, from Samster, from Nick, from Wombo, from Storm King, from Ian, and from me. And that is where we shall leave the qualifying stream. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will join us for the race in a few moments' time.